Hi everybody, it's Crystal. So this is going to be my first hair tutorial, and it was requested by one of my subscribers named SamanthaLovesGod. So I just wanted to thank her for requesting this. Basically she requested it because she's going out today with her friends, and she has hair just like mine, like the same layers and everything. She wanted to know what hairstyle I would do if I were going out, you know, with my girlfriends and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do kind of a retro bump hairstyle without having to use a bump it. And this hairstyle can be worn after the bump is in place. It can be worn either with like a cute side ponytail, like a retro side ponytail like this, or down with a bunch of curls, which I'm going to show you guys how to do, and then like a little headband if you'd like. So I'm going to go over the products that you're going to need to accomplish this hairstyle. First, you're going to need a really good heat protectant spray. I'm choosing to use the Chi 44 Iron Guard, but the ones that have worked in the past for me really well, I liked the Dove Damage Therapy Heat Defense. So either one, you know, you don't have to use Chi, you don't have to use a pricier one, you can use any one that you happen to have. Then you're going to need a hairspray, and it has to be a really good hairspray. I don't mean good as in price or anything like that. I mean good as in one that you love and one that you trust. It can't make your hair have those white flakes in it, and you don't want it to look too plasticky. I'm choosing today to use the Sebastian Reshaper. And then at the end, when it's all done, I'm going to use a shine spray. And again, you guys can use any shine spray you want, but this is not a necessary part of the hairstyle. It's just something that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use a Chi Shine Infusion. So the tools that you're going to need: a hair curler. And it should really be the small size hair curler, the small barrel, because the curls, you don't want really big beach wave curls. You want smaller curls, not tight ringlets, but smaller curls that we can then kind of brush out with our fingers and just have them look very beautiful and very luxurious. Even if you're choosing to do the side ponytail, you're still going to have a couple of curls in there. So make sure you have a thinner barrel curling iron, a hairbrush, a rat tooth comb. You can see that. Again, these can be any brand you have. Rat tooth comb and bobby pins. And if you are choosing to do the side ponytail, you will need a ponytail holder. Let's get started. So first, I'm going to brush out my hair just the way that I would normally. And then I'm going to take my heat defense spray, and I'm going to spray it just literally all over my hair. Take your hairbrush and just brush it through. This way it will help dispense the product more evenly. Next, take your rat tail comb, go from your nose and just part your hair directly down the middle. Just part it directly down the middle like that. This is going to come into play as soon as you see how we're going to make our bump. I apologize about these little wisps right here, and I have a couple in the back. I had such a bad hair experience with a product I had been using. It actually started to burn my hair and make it break. Okay, so once you have your hair parted all the way down the middle, we're going to then start working on our bump. Now for the bump, I would suggest that you get your bobby pins ready. Whatever size you're going to use, get a good amount of them ready. So I'm just going to take about half of these and have them set out so that I can just grab them. So now that we've got our hair parted down the middle, we're going to start our bump. We're going to go right at the crown of our head, so right here, and we're going to take up an amount of hair that's going to create the bottom part of our bump. Make sure that your curling iron is ready, because we will need to just curl this part a little bit, and we're going to tease it just a tiny bit. You want to make sure that it's far enough back so that we can then gather more hair later on. Just like that. It does not have to be a perfect amount, but once you're happy with it, what we're then going to do is hold on to this, and we're going to curl it a little bit. So I'm going to take my curler, And I'm just going to curl it down for a second. Okay, so you guys see how we have that little curl right there? That's just going to help enhance the look a little bit. So take your rat tail comb, and at the back rip part, tease it a tiny bit. You're going to wrap it around your hand. So put your hand right behind there, wrap it around. Okay, so you see how my hand is still in there and the bump has formed. You can see it from the side. I'm going to take my bobby pin, and right where my fingers are holding it down underneath, I'm going to pin it in. There's my bump. It's going to look much neater than this. This is the first part. You're going to then take your hairspray and spray that initial bump that you've got started, and then we're going to work on the second part of our bump. So now we're going to cover this bump with even more hair to make it look nice and polished. So you're going to do the same thing, being very careful not to catch the top of this bump in your comb. Same exact procedure, just start gathering more hair from about right here and cover it. Same way that we just did. Tease it a bit as well at the bottom. We don't need to curl this portion, and we're just going to literally gather it and let it fall over our bump. And these sides, you can kind of help ease them down a bit. So once you've got a bump that you're happy with, here's mine. Take your hairspray again and spray that bump. So if you were to just want to do the ponytail, you would gather all of this hair that you've just done, take your ponytail holder, pick a side that you want this ponytail to be on, and you would simply do a retro side ponytail, brush it out, and then what you would do is go ahead and start putting little curls in here. How we're going to do the curls is as follows. You're going to just put as many curls as you want throughout the entire bit of the long portion of your hair. And remember, before you start doing the curling iron, you're going to gather the piece of hair that you want. So let's say we're going to start right here. You're going to lightly spray that piece with hairspray, grab your comb, comb that through so that the hairspray gets all through. Then you will take your curling iron and you're going to curl up like this. Just going to hold it for a second or so. So you see how I've spaced out that hair evenly so that it's all getting curled and it's not just on top of each other. Once you've felt that that's long enough, maybe about 10 seconds, you're going to let it go. Now, here is what my curl looks like. And we're not going to just leave it this way. We're going to get the rest of our head curled, then we're going to start brushing it through with our hands. So let's go ahead and curl the rest of our hair. For your longer layers or the layers underneath the top layer curls, you don't need to curl them all the way up to the scalp. You can curl them halfway up because what you're really concerned about is that top layer, and they're going to cover the bottom or the longest layers. I don't have makeup on today because I thought it would be fun to do a tutorial for going out during the daytime. So I'm going to do the hair one first, and then I'm going to go ahead and upload or do a makeup tutorial for daytime makeup. Okay, so we have our curls done, and as you can tell, it's complete curl city. We don't want them this intense, so you're just going to take your fingers and use them as a brush. We don't want to use our regular brush because that can run the risk of taking these curls out. So you're just going to go through being very careful of your bump. You don't want that bump getting ruined. I'm going to go through and just kind of have our curls act the way we need them to. So here's the back. And the most important part is now your hairspray. This needs to be sprayed once you've gotten your curls nice and combed out to your liking, and spray everywhere, ladies. That's why I say it's so important to have a good hairspray that doesn't flake. Now I'm going to tease little parts really quick. So I'm just going to take the parts closest to my zygomatic arch, which is the bone right here, and I'm going to tease those just to give me a little bit more volume, as you can see. Then we're going to take our shine spray. Again, this is not necessary, it's just something I like to use. And we're going to spray that all over to make sure that we have nice shine throughout our hair, even though we've just really worked hard on it. And you're done. So this is going to be the look for today, the going out. It can very easily go from day to night. You just may have to recurl. But this is basically how it should look. We have still some straight strands of hair in there, mixed in with some loose curls that we've then worked out with our fingers, and we have our bump. I'm choosing to put it on both sides of me because I think that flatters my face the most. So here is the back, and here is the front. So on the sides, I did just very lightly tease those sides so that I can have a little bit more fullness right around my forehead, and then I'm letting it drop into these beautiful curls that are very light, not tight curls, but yet not beach wave curls. And we have a look that is just so feminine, so pretty to just go ahead and go out to lunch with the girls, go shopping at the mall for the day. It's going to hold. You're not going to need to worry about, your hair falling out. These bobby pins, if you put them in an X formation, they're going to hold very, very long and very well. So I hope that you enjoyed this hair tutorial, and I'd like to thank Samantha from SamanthaLovesGod on YouTube for suggesting that I do a hair tutorial and asking me how I would do my hair since our hair is so similar to each other. I hope that this was easy enough for you guys to follow. I hope I explained it well enough, and I truly appreciate you guys tuning in. I would love to see how it worked out for you guys. So if you do go ahead and try this, or if you decided to do the side ponytail, please show me your looks. Either send me pictures to my inbox, or please do a slideshow video response, or just do a regular video response showing me how your hair looked. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Crystal Seattle TV. Stay beautiful.